What's up, everyone? Welcome to Kodansha Fall 2020 Manga Recommendation Panel. Are you looking for a new manga to read? Then you're at the right place, because we got tons of new manga coming out this season and we're dying to share it with you. And if you like the manga that we talk about today on this panel, then you might want to stick around until the end to find out how you can win it as a giveaway prize. So before we get started, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Misaki Kido, and you may have seen me on the YouTube show called Kodansha Live on our YouTube channel. We also have another panelist today.
Yep, name's Ivan Salazar, and I'm the Senior Marketing Director over at Kodansha USA Publishing.
Yay. Thank you, Ivan. So today, we would like to introduce you to a new manga that is debuting on digital in the next couple of months. And I also want to bring you up to speed on what Kodansha has been up to on the digital manga releases. So we've got all our mangas that's available on print on digital, and we also have out-of-print series like Initial D, Rave Master, and Beck on digital. And we also have Simulpub, which is probably the best way to stay up to date and keep up with the new chapters as they come out. And finally, we got the Digital First series, where we launch a new manga series on digital and gauge its popularity among the fans. And these are our ways to deliver the very robust library of manga and some unique reading experience to the English manga readers. And it seems like we've been releasing new digital series in some kind of theme. And for the month of October, the theme is romance. So let's take a look at what kind of stuff we've got. All right, so first one up is called Four Kisses in Secrets by Rumi Kamino. This one is a collection of short series. It's all in kind of it has its own character and story arc and type of situations of romances for each chapter. Sometimes it is your childhood friend, sometimes it is your boss, sometimes it's your senpai or like your brother's friend, and finally a younger underclassman guy. So it's depending on what you like, you might see your situations here, but it's really cute. This is from the first story about the childhood friend, and the girl is leaving to a somewhere far after she graduates. So like she has kind of limited time here in like this her ordinary life, and she got injured getting a ride from her friend who she knows from when she was younger, when they were younger. But then there's like kind of a mixed feeling going on, like when he kind of shows that he's like much stronger than when he was, and I don't know why she's getting all pumped up from looking at back of his neck, but yeah, she has like very strong feeling towards him. It's really cute. So that's one of the stories from Four Kisses in Secrets. And the manga is coming out on October 6th on digital platforms.
Yeah, and I think the short story format is really nice because we know this is going to be one volume, and so if you're just in for like very contained stories that you don't need like several volumes to read, this will be a good one.
So it's from here and on, it gets a little bit spicier, shoujo. I think this is a rated M title. It's called Practice Makes Perfect. So the situation here is pretty interesting. It's a relationship between 20-something-year-old national athletes in Japan. So it starts out really sporty, right? But then by like next page, you're in the situation of like two adults in like a love hotel sitting and says, I look forward to this. Same here. So, but they tell you why they got into a situation like this is they're in a similar situation where the girl was recently rejected by her boyfriend for her inexperience in sex. And so she's like kind of heartbroken about it. And she also realizes that somebody in the gym, one gym over, who's I think this is a judo section, he's having the same situation. So once they realize that about both of their troubles, they write down what their wishes are here. I would like to lose my virginity and find a boyfriend within a year. That's the girl's wish. And the guy wrote down, I want to have sex before my 30 and become a man that is capable of giving a life of happiness to a woman. So they're like, really come from like, their heart's in a really good place, so to speak. But they're so serious about it because they're like national athletes. They're very like responsible and like hardworking, and they really know the value of practice.
Yeah.
To get better at anything. In their case, up until now, it was sports. But they need practice, so they decided to be their practice mates with each other. So that's basic premise of this story. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. And as we were talking a little bit while we were setting up for this panel, it's something that, reading the pages that we reviewed here, and even a little bit further, it really reminds me of Ore Monogatari, My Love Story, where it's two very earnest people who are not very knowledgeable in love, and just trying to sort of feel it out together. No pun intended. And it's just it being a very sort of sweet and innocent love story, even though the subject matter is a little bit spicier. But yeah, no, I'm excited to read this because this feels like I love all the serious humor of it. That these people take it so seriously that it's kind of just funny, but in a very cute way. So.
Did I tell you My Love Story is like one of my favorite shoujo manga because of the humor?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're interested in seeing more humor and some serious pure love relationship, this is your choice. It's coming out on October 13th on digital platforms. And next one up is called The Wife and His Housekeeper. Even sounds pretty spicy here. But it starts out kind of nice. Like the main character is this like lady who went through kind of a hard life, but like she's very optimistic, upbeat personality. But she's kind of a little bit looking devastated here for her new job to clean this giant dirty house, this bunch of stuff. And suddenly this guy shows up and like pushes her over. What's going on? She's like, did he just propose? And if you look really closely, he's good looking. No, she didn't say that, but she did think that he has pretty eyes. But then he just like stands up and says, this is it. This is what she was looking for in his story that he's writing. So what he's doing here is he's kind of conceptualizing the story that he is writing as a novel writer. So this is pretty interesting setup to this story. This is called the Writer and His Housekeeper. Tell it like it is. This one is coming out in October 20th. All right. We have one more shoujo. This is more of a pure shoujo title coming out in October. It's called When We're in Love. This one is a relationship between two high school students coming from two different backgrounds, seems like. So off the bat, the boy is getting in trouble at his school, and watching that is the class rep girl, kind of like a good girl. Doesn't seem like they have too much in common in the beginning, but when she's walking around the school, she finds him crawling out of the window at the bottom, like a cat door. And he threatens her, like, he better not talk about it or like, I'll do something to you. And it's like, what did he just say? So she's like kind of not like liking him in the beginning, but then like next time around, he actually saves her from this like situation where she was trying to turn down this guy who's been like asking her out for like 4 times. And he just kind of like bumps in there knowing the kind of situation to kind of get her out of a tight spot. In November, it's more of a fantasy theme month, starting with the otherworldly Munchkin. So I had to learn about this when I was reading the first chapter. But Munchkin, I think this is like a Japanese internet slang, but it means that it's a player who knows about the loopholes in the game, then they can use it as an advantage for themselves. So this guy is kind of a cheat character, and maybe that is why he can speedrun the dungeon with only 1 health point left. Says it in the title. This one starts out with an ordinary guy who lives with his sister. They play video games together, and but then like they get suddenly quick turn of story and he gets attacked by this monster, and it seems like he died. This is usually the beginning of like a isekai series. It starts out with sudden death, and so in this case, and he gets to this room with this person welcoming him to this place called Everworld. It's like a world of magic and swords, and this is like him going through the process of receiving his character sheet. And then he's also given like a special power item from the to kind of give him like a better start. So while he's going through this process, he finds his sister in the book as well. And does this mean that she is also dead from the incidents that he died? We don't know yet, but he seems to be pretty determined to go find her in this world. So that's kind of the setup of this series. It's based on a light novel.
Yeah, I really very much like the Dungeons and Dragons influence for this series. I think we saw the person that he meets upon first arriving to the new world is this woman that like to her side has like a D20 dice like next to her, and then even the character sheets are very much like the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition character sheets that you can like download from their website. So like I like that it's not only like video game stuff, but it's tabletop RPG stuff, and then sort of wrapping it into this like isekai world. So I'm really curious to see where this story goes.
Yeah, definitely like isekai meets D&D. And also I like the artwork that is like really kind of dark and grim. This is a series that's run in a magazine called Nemesis that has like a bunch of really like gritty, like edgy manga. So like I'm kind of looking forward to what they can do in the world. The isekai series from Nemesis, I'm like highly looking into. Right on. So this one is coming out on November 3rd. Next one up. This one is interesting too. The Peach Boy Riverside, and I was like, I think this is based on the Japanese folk tale called Momotaro. I guess big spoiler, but it's a new take on it. So it starts out with us being introduced as the princess of a country in a fantasy setting. She meets this traveler who looks like a girl, but he's actually a boy, and she's just realizing it here. And he seems like a nice person, but he, like suddenly turns and like has this like dark expression, so to speak. And the story kind of speeds up here real quick. It says abbreviation in the middle. He can definitely fight all the demons in this fantasy world, and he enjoys it in some sense. And here's him like throwing the peace sign at her, like that he's down killing the demons. So she's a little intimidated by him. He also has a little dog buddy who travels with him. So that's kind of like based on the Momotaro story. But I thought this is a pretty interesting take on the old school folk tale. And this is a light novel, so it's like a fully developed story. And it's also going to be an anime in summer 2021. So I have my eyes on Peach Boy Riverside, coming out November 11th.
Yeah, and I think if we're sticking with the Dungeons and Dragons theme, I think most people who play completely understand that even though your characters might be the heroes, everything pretty much devolves into becoming a murder squad. So I feel like this, yeah. So I imagine that this will appeal to some of those folks who play the characters that are just destroying everything and then moving from town to town.
Right. Definitely about the killer machine. And yeah, I like the pretty art on top of gore. I'm curious about where this is going. Next one up, this is also another interesting one. Dr. Ramune, mysterious disease specialist. They spell it out quite, I don't know, even just from this description, it's kind of hard to tell what this is about. So I'll show you some of the pages. Might include some shocking graphics. So the first chapter starts out with a story of a girl who has, she cries mayonnaise out of her eyes. And when she cries out mayonnaise out of her eyes, apparently it hurts. And so she consults with this specialist doctor, seemingly guy, who knows about these phenomena unexplained that happens to people. And in this case, she is crying out soy sauce out of his eyes. And sometimes it's ketchup and ponzu and other kind of condiments. And she has like no control over it. And he asks like, do you have any idea why this is happening to you? And it's like, not really, but my mom tells me not to cry. Just like, your tears are only for when you're acting, because she's a child actress. So that might have to do something with the situation. And he prescribes her to this tea in this like little goldfish tea bag. And when she starts drinking it, she can't help it but speak the truth and her own feelings. So here she's telling her mom that she wants to quit her job as an actress. And she's kind of contemplated now, because if she drinks the tea, she can only speak the truth. If she stops drinking the tea, she starts crying out condiments. So like it's kind of a tough choice that she has. So it's always kind of a trade with him. It's like Tales of Monkey Paws, where like your wish comes through in the trade-off of something. So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, no, I enjoy that. Like it seems like it's one of those ideas where these weird symptoms that everybody has are actually tied to emotional problems that the characters are going through. So not only do you have like kind of like cute and funny art, but you have like very strong emotional moments.
Right.
And really, like, when all of us are going through stuff, like sometimes we don't recognize the physical symptoms of what the emotional problems are doing. So I feel like this is a neat interpretation, like taken to an extreme. If this person is feeling bad with about their relationship with their mother, like they just like cry condiments, and it's like, oh, that's so wild. But then like when you get to the heart of it, it's like, oh no, it's just that having difficulties in terms of expressing herself.
Yeah, so it's definitely like kind of visualizing the people's psyche And that's pretty interesting. There's another one. This one is called "Am I Actually the Strongest?" This is definitely a isekai series. In this case, it starts out with ordinary guy who likes to just spend his time reading manga and watching anime and surfing internet. But one day he gets an offer to be transferred to a isekai, so he takes the offer, and then he's reborn as like a baby, literally in this case, and he's also a prince of this country. But then when his parents in this world realize that he has only like very weak power, they decide to toss him into the wilderness, which is kind of messed up. It's like, oh my God, I am in the biggest pinch right here. But then later he gets explained that he's actually not like complete weakling, but he's actually like power 1002. So he's like off the charts. So it didn't even register. So he was told that he could use some magic power, so he tries it out real quick. Oh, totally works. Okay, could I apply it to myself flying around? Oh yeah, it totally works. Yes, I can totally do this. Until a giant wolf shows up all of a sudden. So what's going to happen to this baby? We're about to find out when the book comes out on November 24th.
Yeah, this one looks like it's definitely just a lot of humor, like in an isekai world. So I'm happy to read something that's just kind of like lighthearted and funny and has some cool action.
Yeah, so good. I'm always kind of saying like, you know, how this templated beginning of an isekai starts to be something else like completely new. So like, yeah, this is in the case. Very excited and very worried for the baby. So that is, am I actually the strongest? And apparently, yes. All right. So besides these digital first series that we talked about, we also have new releases of Shaman King series. Yay! So I want Ivan, bring us up to speed about Shaman King.
Yeah. So, by this point, or by the time that this panel comes out, the news has already been announced. But, we announced that the original Shaman King series was going to be debuting through Comixology Originals. So it's a digital first program where it'll be on Kindle and Comixology. And, if you have Comixology Unlimited or Kindle Unlimited, you'd be able to read all 35 volumes for free. As part of your subscription service. But, this will be debuting in full October 6th. Starting then, you can read the entire series. And when we say the entire series, we have to mention that that includes the final volumes that were never published in the US. So this is going to be the first time that the entire Shaman King series is going to be in English in the US for fans to read. And not only that, but like all the sort of redone covers for this series are stunning. So
Upgraded.
Yeah, super upgraded. So very, very excited to tear through this once it debuts.
Yeah, I'm like already drilling over these like new covers of Shaman King, but that's not even all. We also have like a kind of an expansion of the world of Shaman Kings through all the spin-offs that's also coming out too.
That's right. Yeah. We also mentioned a while back that we're bringing some of the spin-offs that never came to the US. We're starting with Shaman King Zero. That's going to be debuting on October 13th. Kind of just giving you a look of before the events of the Shaman King core series. Then if we want to go to the next one.
Yes.
Shaman King Flowers, which is a continuation beyond the original series. That one's going to debut on October 20th. And then if we want to go to the next one. Shaman King Crimson, which is a side story from some of the characters of the Shaman King universe, of Tao Jun and Li Pailong. So, if you wanted to sort of get the perspective of the Shaman King world through some of the other characters, it's like a cool series to do that. And that's going to be debuting on October 27th.
Right on.
Yeah. And then Shaman King Superstar, which is the continuation, but not so far into the future, I believe. And that one's going to be debuting a little bit further out, December 8th. But this will sort of bring all of the Shaman King and spin-offs, like, finally to English speakers around the world.
That's really dope. You know how long I've been waiting for these? Because I was reading the series from the original runs, and I knew that there's alternate ending. I knew there was next generation stories, and I knew there was a sequel that was drawn and written by Hiroyuki Takei sensei himself. So I'm very excited that we have Shaman King as part of Kodansha family now.
Yeah.
One more thing to mention, we have the print edition coming out. This is a 3-in-1 omnibus edition that is coming out in 2021. And then it's going to continue to publish all the volumes throughout 2022. So it's a chunky 600 volumes worth volumes to look forward to read.
Yeah, it's very intense, just having like those huge chunky volumes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 600 pages is going to be great. Or just like Shaman King to have on the shelf per volume.
So and this one also features the new art too. So if you're looking to start a new print collection of Shaman King, it is coming to you very soon. Hey, thank you for joining the Kodansha Manga Recommendations panel. So as I have promised earlier, we've got a special giveaway for those fans who stuck around to watch this entire panel. If you like the manga we have talked about today, let us know by taking the viewers survey on the video description, and you'll be entering for a chance to win a giveaway prize. And that is it for now, and we hope to see you again very soon. Until then, peace out.